Hi there, this is Ava from avawaits.com. This is where making money feels like bliss. And I am so excited to share something really special with you today. And it is that the outline for my book, A Woman's Treasure, Grow a Business Where Making Money Feels Like Bliss, is just behind me on the wall. So you can see it a little bit, right? So all those papers that are just behind me. What I did is a couple months ago, I decided to post the outline to my book, and I cleared off one of the rooms in my home. I just tore everything off of it, cleaned up the floor below it, made it this big, beautiful white slate, and put a piece of ribbon up on the top, and then proceeded to take days to cut little strips of paper that had each section of the outline on them and to just post them. And so you can see actually, right? So behind me, so chapter, 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 and on and on and on. There are about 12 chapters right now at this point up on the wall with room for more. And the reason I did this was I have been working on the book for the past 3 or so years, and I had been doing all of the writing on my little laptop, and really everything was kind of in the digital world. And there actually came to a point where I couldn't really hold the outline anymore. Like imagine with me, you have two hands and you're just trying to hold a bunch of sand in them, and you have sand like trickling out in between each finger. That's how it was for me. That's how it kind of became with my book, is I couldn't actually hold on to the information anymore. And so me, because I recognize myself as a visual person, I decided that I really needed to actually have a visual structure to the book. And I needed to have that visual structure up in a place that felt like it could be a private container. There are very few people that come into this room here. And it's really wonderful to actually have it up there. And that one of the places that I sit and that I do my daily work from, just the view is just straight at this wall. So it's been a really wonderful place to have everything on display, at least for me, and has really sparked creativity in me. And so what I have been doing lately with the book is going through adding new things in, but also recognizing that there are some things that I wrote about that have been, they were maybe two years ago, 2.5 years ago, and they actually don't feel like they belong in this particular book anymore. And I'm starting to recognize that authors often become serial authors, and there will likely be other books. In fact, I already have the idea for my second book, but I'm really working on committing to finishing projects, because that's a really big thing. There are a lot of people out in the world with really good ideas, and they talk about those ideas and they get excited, and then they don't take any action toward those ideas. And I want to be a person who completes things. So that's what I'm working on, is the completion. So here's what I want to ask of you today. I'm actually looking for some ideas from you. And that is that this book does not have an official timeline yet as to when it is actually going to be complete and out. I, of course, hope to have it done by the end of 2016. However, being a writer who has the freedom that I've been able to create in my life, I could write on and on and on and on for years and years. But I don't want to. I actually want to get this done. So I'm really curious to hear from you, and feel free to post it in the comments just below this video. How would you encourage someone to actually be held accountable to finishing a book by a certain time frame? Or do you personally know of something happening later in 2016, and something that's happening that actually could assist an author in completing their book by a certain date? Or do you just have an idea we're sharing it for me, but I'm also doing this to generate ideas for all authors and all project creators right now to help them get something done. So do you have an idea for me, for my book, of how I could actually set a date and make everything happen by that date? Make the book be complete at least complete to the point that it can. You know, it needs to get complete, and then I need to reach out to the person who I want to write the foreword to my book and assemble, of course, a few other things and get all the launch in place. So I'm really curious. I would love your ideas, because that's something that I noticed that me as an author, especially writing my first book, is that the due date is unclear still. That's something that is not completely clear in my mind. So I would welcome any ideas that you have around that, of actually setting a due date and holding to it. And not from that way of like, I'm going to punish you if you don't get to that due date. I don't like that stuff. But something really positive. So the book is being worked on right now, and I also wanted to share too that behind the scenes for the past year and a half, I've also been studying with a publicity mentor, and he's behind some of the success of Chicken Soup for the Soul, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. He has done so much in this industry, and I'm really excited to say that he's taught me so much about how to do the promotion for the book. And I've literally written down about 200 ways that I can actually promote this specific book. And so if you're working on a project, or you're working on a new offering in your business, or you're working on a book, I encourage you to start writing down any idea that you have for promotion. And then you could even go back through it when you're ready to actually promote that thing, whatever that is, the book or the project, and just check off. And do a little checklist, check off everything. I know that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going through and looking at actually taking action on all of those items that I've written down. So this is so special. I'm really happy that I could share this with you and give you a little peek into this room here where the book is actually being written. And I want to thank you also for all of you who have just asked me about it, and it's really getting exciting, and I can't wait to share it with you. I know it's going to be really fantastic especially for women, for those in the healing world, for those of you who want to make money in ways that actually feel good to you, and for those of you who are a little bit free-spirited and you want your income to come in very creative, new ways. Sometimes you actually want to completely jump out of the human habits that a lot of us are in, and some of the human patterns that go on in this world, and you're ready to jump out of that, do your own thing, and make really good money from it. So I'm happy to share this with you, and I wish you a fantastic week.